Hello boys and girls, Busternaut here, and welcome back to another World of Tanks Blitz tank review. Today we are taking a look at the tier 5 Russian heavy tank, the KV-1. So this tank is pretty good, it relies on its armor mostly, and it has a pretty nice gun. So let's actually take a look at the stats first. There we go, the tank has 770 hit points, 75 frontal, 75 side and 70 rear armor, and the turret is 110 all around. The weight is 49 tons for tier 5 heavy tank, that's a lot. The engine power is 534 kilometers maximum speed. You will not reach this, you will reach maximum 20 or around that kind of speed, 20 traverse and 20 turret traverse speed. And we come to the gun. The gun is a pretty nice 85mm. You can also use the 122 derp gun with heat, but this will be quite expensive for you and will not work as well. You have 7 rounds per minute rate of fire with 120 AP penetration and 161 APCR penetration, with alpha damage of 200 and 300 for the HE ammo. 0.42 accuracy, 2.9 seconds aiming time. So this is a pretty nice gun for tier 5 and it performs pretty good on this tank. Now let's see what equipment should you use. I sold the KV-1, so I'm going to show you here. I recommend gun rammer ventilation and probably the enhanced gun lane drive because of that 2.9 seconds aiming time. But you really can experiment with those. I mean, it's a heavy tank, but you can choose whatever you want. And now I'm trying to show you the crew skills. And there we go, I found the tank with 100% crew. For a heavy tank, the most important skill is repairs. So go ahead and choose repairs. You will never go wrong with that skill. And from the other skills, you can choose whatever you like. The consumables, I recommend using repair kit, adrenaline, and the multi-purpose restoration pack. Don't pay attention that I'm showing this with my other tanks. I actually sold the KV-1, that's why. Now let's take a look at the armor. As you can see, from the front it has lower plate 75mm and mid plate 75mm, with this 40mm between them, but it's extreme angle, so it's an auto bounce. The turret, as you can see, is 110 all around, apart from this part here, but I believe that's the gun mantlet there. And there's a weak spot on the rear of the turret, that little machine gun. It's 40mm only, and it's the weakest armor on this tank. Even the rear has more armor than that. So there we go. If you are very low tier, unfortunate, and you meet a KV-1, shoot him at the back of the turret if you can't circle him, because that thing turns like a boat. Now let's choose the T-34 gun here, and as you can see, the T-34 can penetrate the mid plate and the lower plate of this tank. And there we go, I angled it correctly. Now the middle plate is an auto bounce. And you can side scrape pretty well with this tank because you have so much side armor, plus the tracks count as 20mm spaced armor. So you can side scrape pretty nice, but hide your lower and your mid plate because they are a weak spot on only 75mm and they are flat. So with that being said, let's move to the games. First game, we are playing on Winter Malinovka, and we are top tier. Now, when this tank is top tier, nothing can stop it really. As you saw there, when we took a look at the armor, the only weak spot is the lower and the mid plate. So if someone is shooting at the front, you should try covering up your front, like behind the rock and side scrape. But most of the people don't really know where to shoot you, and if you angle like 45 degrees, they will not penetrate you. Apart from higher penetration guns at that tier, at some other heavy tanks like the VK, which has 150mm of penetration, and probably other KV-1s, but most of the times unexperienced players will not penetrate you if you angle like 45 degrees or something like that. or if you angle slightly like I'm showing here. But anyways, we are moving into position, but I believe I will never get to that position because the enemy team got spotted early and I sit here all game and I take shots. So in this battle you will see how the gun performs rather than the armor. There we go, first target, it's a Crusader. I fire without waiting the gun to aim fully because that 2.9 seconds aiming time is not worth waiting. And the second shot tracks him, which is always nice. He used his repair kit, I believe. Or probably I didn't know, now I tracked him. And now he uses his repair kit. Earlier I only damaged his track. Now that's a long range shot at this VK. As you can see, the gun has no problem with those long range shots as long as you aim fully, which can be painful with that aiming time. And this shot could have hit, but Stalin wasn't with me. Now some blind shots. I believe I hit him right here. I cannot tell because I can't hear the crew, and I believe I hit him. And now I hit him again, probably. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, the gun performs really nicely. It can penetrate anything at tier 5. That's a nice shot at the Covenanter there. Now he tries to run away, but it's too late for him. That's our first kill. And targets just keep popping up. I want to move into position, but... And as you can see, at long range, they're struggling to penetrate my armor. They are only blowing up my track, which is... I'm good with it, I'm not going anywhere anyways. And that Panzer IV was shooting me all the time. And when I shoot him, he didn't bounce. Now something penetrates us, but he was... whatever penetrate was shooting me flat on in the side. I could tell that by the red thing that appears when someone hits you. That shows the direction where the hit came from. So now I'm moving up. Finally, no targets to shoot at. So I decide to move and find myself targets. And that Hitzer cannot do anything unless he's firing HE, and then again. But he did a lot of damage there. I actually was surprised playing this. Didn't know what gun he used and what ammo he used, but he did a lot of damage there. That was surprising. Just when I told you that he cannot do much, he did so much damage. Now the Panzer IV penetrates me. Sorry, but I managed to give him back the heat. And I take him out. My track eats his last shot. And now we have 4 kills. If we manage to kill that light tank, we'll get the Radley Waters. At this point I don't believe I'll kill him. I thought that he would run away, and after missing this shot I was like, I'm not gonna get him. But he was silly enough to drive forwards. I managed to put 1 shot into him, although it looked like it bounced. And there we go. I believe I'll hit him here, picking up the Radley Waters. So this game, our armor didn't perform really well there. A lot of tanks penetrated us, but you could see how good the gun is actually. A lot of long range shots hit and penetrate. And as you can see, Top Gun Radley Waters, not enough for anything higher than 2nd class mastery. 2600 damage and 900 and something experience. So as you can see, the gun performs really nice on this tank. Of course you can use the other 122mm, but as I told you, you need to fire heat. There are of course targets that you can penetrate with that gun. I've played a lot with it as well, and I was going to show you a replay with me with that gun, but then I had this game and I decided to include it instead of the 122mm gun replay. Not replay. Battle, yeah. So, final game. We are playing on Dead Rail map, and I believe I just rush forward. I look at the matchmaking and nobody is a real threat, and I really didn't care that much, so I went full retard, and this time it worked. When it works, it's good, but it rarely works if you do stupid stuff like that. I mean, look at me, I'm just driving forwards into the enemy spawn and I don't care. I spot the enemy KV-1, put a plot shot because he was going to hide, and I miss. But look at me, I'm just going nuts here. I don't care. And it ended up being a good game. But hey, let's just watch. First shot penetrates the Covenanter, and he, with his little pop gun, he cannot penetrate me. And there's a Crusader, blind shot, I think it went in. Yeah, there we go. It wasn't that much of a blind shot. He kills my driver, which is annoying because this tank is slow anyways. So I put him back to work and I go forwards. This and now my team is capping again. That is really I mean, the situation is somehow the same to me, but this time the enemy team ended up resetting. I'm just mad here. I mean, come on. I mean, we don't have the advantage right now, but I don't care. I want to play the game. I don't care if we lose. It's better to lose and to play the game than to sit in the capture circle for 1 minute and to win. Where's the fun in that? I'm playing to have fun, not to win. I'm winning in the process. Anyways, the enemies reset, which is nice, and they kill the people which were trying to cap, which is nicer. Now they got punished for what they were doing, and next time they will, well, next time they will probably cap again, but I don't care. Now this KV-1 has the stock gun, which is not a real threat. Well, it is, but he didn't put it to good use there. I mean, this gun he's using is the same gun that we used earlier when we viewed the armor of this tank, the 34 gun, and as you saw there, he's able to pen my lower plate and my mid plate, but he isn't really aiming all that much at me. So I take the opportunity side of his turret, and as you saw there, I fired clutch and I hit his mid plate, which is only 40 mm, but as I told you, it's an auto bounce zone. If you are fighting him face to face, if you are fighting him like, if you are if he's lower than you on lower ground, you can penetrate that plate, but otherwise it's an auto bounce. So at this point I enter the cap circle to force the enemy to come at me, not to cap. I don't want to win by capping, but if they don't come at me, I'm a slow tank, I cannot go and chase them. So they take the bite and they come one by one. Well, not by one, but the Covenanter is not a real threat anyways. So my last remaining teammate is fighting the Panzer 38NA, and I'm fighting this Wolverine. Now this is a close call here. The Wolverine can kill me because he has a nice gun, but I can outmatch him using my adrenaline, so I do this and I increase my rate of fire, and I managed to put 2 good shots in, and the third one finishes him off. Now only this enemy remains. I put a clutch shot, but it didn't go in. I believe he will kill my teammate in a second, but it's anyways, I mean, he cannot kill me, and I'll just sit in the capture circle. I'm not going to chase around a light tank. Well, in the beginning I went chasing him, but when he killed my teammate I decided to cap and force him to come at me, because let's be honest, you cannot catch a light tank in the KV-1. So if he comes, I'll kill him, and if he doesn't, I will win the game by capping. And he came, and I high rolled, and it's GG's. 5 kills once again, and yeah, pretty silly play in the beginning, ended up being actually a good game. But if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Ace Tanker, Top Gun, Radley Water, Steel Wool, Scout, and 2 other methods that I don't know the name of. But anyways, as you can see, it was a pretty nice game there. 2600 damage once again. But yeah, I don't know what was different this time. Maybe the spotting damage I did. And as you can see, this is not my first good game in the KV-1. I have loads of them, as you can see here, the following screenshots. So the KV-1 is a very good tank. If it's top tier, if it's a tier 6 and tier 7 game, it's only strength. The armor gets completely negated. So when it's top tier, it's a very nice tank. But then again, it's too slow for me to enjoy. I didn't enjoy playing this tank, really. So yeah, but this doesn't mean it's a bad tank. It's a real good tank, and probably you will enjoy it. So this will be it for this tank review. Next up, we'll be taking a look at the Panther. And I already got the Panther 2, as you saw in this video, so that's nice. And I'm going to be doing a KV-1S review as well very soon. This tank is very, very powerful. And yeah, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. This always helps me a lot. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe for more videos. If you already did, then thank you for watching and good luck on the battlefield.